There is a technique so powerful that only the top 1% of women understand it, and when they use it, men become completely captivated without understanding why. It is not about your physical appearance, your words, or even your personality in the traditional sense. It is about triggering a deep psychological mechanism that rewires how his brain perceives you. This mechanism is called the halo effect, and when combined with the ability to read his subconscious micro-expressions, it creates an irresistible magnetic pull. Today, I'm going to whisper this secret to you, and once you understand it, you will never look at attraction the same way again. Are you ready to discover what the top 1% know? Let me start by explaining what the halo effect truly means in the context of attraction. When a man perceives one positive quality about you, his brain automatically assumes you possess many other positive qualities, even if he has no evidence of them. This is not rational. It is a cognitive bias hardwired into human psychology. For example, if he perceives you as intelligent in the first 3 minutes of conversation, his subconscious mind will also assume you are kind, interesting, emotionally stable, and desirable. The key is understanding which specific quality triggers the strongest halo effect in male psychology. And here is the secret. It is not beauty, it is perceived emotional depth combined with unpredictability. Now here is where most women make a critical mistake. They try to appear perfect, agreeable, and constantly available, believing this will make them more attractive. But this actually works against the halo effect because it creates predictability, and predictability kills the neurochemical cocktail that creates obsession. When you are too easy to read, his brain stops working to figure you out. The dopamine reward system that creates addiction requires uncertainty and intermittent reinforcement. The top 1% understand this. They create moments of deep emotional connection followed by strategic emotional distance. This pattern hijacks his reward system and makes him think about you constantly, even when you are not there. Let us talk about micro-expressions, the tiny facial movements that last less than half a second and reveal true emotions before the conscious mind can hide them. When you learn to read his micro-expressions, you gain a superpower. You can see exactly when you have triggered his interest, when he is feeling vulnerable, and most importantly, when he is falling for you. Watch for the subtle eyebrow flash when he first sees you. It indicates genuine attraction. Notice if his pupils dilate when you speak. This is an involuntary sign of emotional arousal. Look for the brief softening around his eyes when he looks at you. This micro-expression reveals genuine affection that he might not even be aware of yet. Here is the technique the top 1% use. They create what I call layered revelation. Instead of revealing everything about themselves immediately, they strategically share deeper layers of their personality over time, and they do it in moments of existing emotional intensity. When he is already feeling something, whether laughter, excitement, or even tension, that is when you reveal something meaningful about yourself. His brain will anchor that emotional state to you, creating a powerful association. But here's the critical part. You must also leave space for him to reveal himself. The moment he shares something vulnerable, you respond with genuine curiosity, not judgment or advice. This creates psychological safety, which is the foundation of male emotional investment. Now let me reveal the most counterintuitive secret about triggering the halo effect. You must occasionally break your own pattern. If you are always warm, be mysteriously distant once. If you are usually available, be genuinely busy and unavailable. This is not playing games. This is understanding that the human brain is wired to pay attention to pattern interruptions because they signal important information. When you break your pattern, his subconscious mind goes on high alert, trying to figure out what changed. This creates a spike in dopamine and norepinephrine, the exact neurochemical combination that creates the feeling of falling in love. The top 1% do this naturally because they have full, interesting lives beyond any relationship. Let us discuss the power of strategic vulnerability. Most people think vulnerability means oversharing or being emotionally needy, but that actually repels men. True strategic vulnerability is sharing something meaningful about your inner world while maintaining your emotional center. It is saying, I feel deeply about this without needing him to fix it or validate you. When you demonstrate that you can feel deeply, but also self-regulate, it triggers a powerful attraction response. His subconscious reads this as emotional maturity and strength, which are incredibly attractive qualities. The halo effect then extends from this one quality to everything else about you. He begins to see you as someone rare and valuable. Here is a micro-expression secret that will change your dating life. When a man touches his face or neck while talking to you, especially after you have said something meaningful, his subconscious is processing strong emotion. This self-soothing gesture reveals that you have affected him on a deeper level than his words might indicate. Similarly, if his body consistently orients towards you, even when he is talking to others, this reveals unconscious prioritization. The most powerful micro-expression to watch for is the genuine smile, which engages the muscles around the eyes and creates small crow's feet. This cannot be faked and indicates real joy in your presence. When you see these signs, you know the halo effect is working. The top 1% understand something profound about attraction. It is not about making him like you. It is about creating a space where he discovers the best version of himself in your presence. When a man feels more confident, more articulate, more alive around you, the halo effect works in reverse. He attributes these good feelings to your inherent value. This is why the most attractive women are not those who perform or try to impress, but those who create an atmosphere of possibility. You do this through genuine curiosity, by asking questions that make him think, and by reflecting back the interesting things he says. When he hears his own thoughts validated and expanded by you, his brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Let me share the most elegant secret of all: the power of the pause. In conversation, most people rush to fill silence because it feels uncomfortable. But the top 1% use strategic pauses to create intensity and allow micro-expressions to surface. After he says something meaningful, pause for 2 to 3 seconds while maintaining soft eye contact. In this silence, his subconscious mind will reveal everything through micro-expressions: uncertainty, hope, attraction, vulnerability. This pause also makes your eventual response carry more weight because he had to wait for it, which increases its perceived value. Additionally, pauses create a rhythm in conversation that feels intimate and different from his interactions with everyone else. This uniqueness triggers the halo effect powerfully. Here is something fascinating about male psychology. Men fall in love when they feel they have earned your affection, not when it is freely given. This is why the halo effect must be triggered gradually. When you reveal your interest in layers, rewarding his effort and emotional investment incrementally, his brain releases dopamine with each small victory. This creates an addiction pattern similar to variable reward schedules studied in behavioral psychology. The top 1% never give all their attention, all their time, or all their emotional availability at once. Instead, they create moments of intense connection followed by space for him to miss you and reflect. During this reflection time, the halo effect amplifies because his mind fills in the gaps with positive projections. Let us talk about the micro-expression of lip compression, when his lips briefly press together. This reveals internal conflict or suppressed emotion. When you see this after saying something meaningful or during a moment of tension, you know he is feeling something intense that he is not yet ready to express. This is actually a positive sign if you are building attraction. It means the halo effect is creating cognitive dissonance. His rational mind is catching up to what his emotional mind already knows. The top 1% recognize this moment and give him space to process rather than pushing for immediate verbal confirmation. They understand that male emotional processing often happens internally and slowly, and respecting this pace creates trust and safety. Now I will give you the ultimate secret that ties everything together: authentic presence combined with strategic mystery. The halo effect reaches its maximum power when he perceives you as fully present in moments together, yet maintains a sense that there are depths to you he has not yet discovered. This combination is intoxicating because it satisfies his immediate need for connection while activating his curiosity and pursuit instincts. The top 1% achieve this by being genuinely engaged when they are with him, putting away phones, maintaining eye contact, laughing freely, but they also maintain rich, independent lives full of passions, friendships, and goals. When he asks about your day and you have genuinely interesting things to share, the halo effect makes him see you as not just attractive, but as a rare, high-value woman he cannot afford to lose. Here is your final wisdom. The psychological trigger that makes men fall in love is not a manipulation technique. It is the natural result of becoming a woman who understands her own value and creates genuine connection without losing herself. The halo effect amplifies when you are authentic, not when you are performing. Micro-expressions reveal truth, and the truth he needs to see is that you are emotionally intelligent, secure in yourself, and capable of deep feeling without being controlled by those feelings. When you embody these qualities and use the strategic techniques I have shared, you become unforgettable. You become the woman he thinks about constantly, the one he compares others to, the one he realizes he cannot imagine his life without. This is the power the top 1% possess, and now you possess it too.